The girl deliberately rubbed her neck because she knew if there was any chance to survive, this was her only one. The moment the old man's eyes fell on the red mark on her neck, he completely lost it. "You tricked me!" he shouted at the human trafficker. "Give my money back! Give me my car, you bastard!" In an instant, the atmosphere turned explosive. They lunged at each other, shouting curses, fists flying, everything spiraled out of control. And in that very chaos, the girl grabbed her fate. She jumped straight onto the bread cart. Only then did the two men realize they weren't the hunters anymore. They had become the prey. They kept screaming, trying to climb onto the cart, desperate to drag her back. But in truth, this girl was no longer the same girl. She had been reborn. In her previous life, greed for property had turned her into a monster. She had pushed her own father down the stairs, sending him straight to his death. Then she framed the innocent girl, sold her to human traffickers, and in the end, had her killed by that same old man. As she died, she swore an oath. "If I'm reborn, I will escape this hell at any cost." Today, all those conspiracies had finally been exposed. A burden she had carried for years lifted from the girl's chest. Elsewhere, the stepmother and her daughter were putting on an act beside the father's grave. They were calm, confident, certain that the girl, once sold to traffickers, would never return alive. But then, in the middle of the funeral, a shadow appeared. The girl was standing there, alive. The entire place fell silent. The stepmother and daughter instantly spewed poison. "This snake-hearted girl, she killed her own father!" The police were called. Then the stepsister stepped forward, wearing an innocent expression. "Where have you been? Why couldn't anyone reach you? Father didn't even get to see you one last time." Hearing her shameless words, the girl laughed. The very next second, she picked up a cup of hot tea and poured it straight onto her face. "Because some people didn't want me to come back alive." Yet the stepsister kept acting. "You're jealous of me. I'm entering the design competition, and you're a murderer." The girl finally broke her silence. She took out her phone. Fire burned in her eyes. Truth rang in her voice. "Here's the proof." The recording clearly showed their father being pushed down the stairs. But just then, her fiancé arrived. Without listening to a single word of truth, he lashed out at her. "How can you be so cruel?" The girl laughed softly and said, "Then let it all end today." She removed the engagement ring and threw it onto the ground. The stepsister picked it up, pretending concern. "This was a gift Zhangfang chose especially for you. If you want it, take it." Her voice was as cold as ice. A loud slap echoed. At that moment, her uncle shouted, "This rude girl needs to be taught a lesson." The fiancé added coldly, "This woman doesn't deserve to enter the Song family." And in front of everyone, he dropped to his knees before the stepsister. "Will you marry me?" She smiled. The girl laughed, because she remembered her past life, how she, too, had once believed these very lies. "People like you never change." Then the police officer's voice rang out. "Who called the police?" The stepmother screamed, "She killed my husband!" Everyone echoed together, "We're witnesses!" The scheming girl pointed her finger. "I saw it with my own eyes." The girl replied calmly, "If that's what all of you say, then now take a good look at the real murderer." And without hesitation, she pressed play on the recording.